guys, it's good to see you again. So today we're going to be doing a special kind of painting with special materials. We are going to use a dot technique in order to make a mandala type design on a stone. So the stone that you have may be larger or smaller than the one that I have, and it may be similar or different in shape, which is part of the thing that makes your design unique. We're also using some unusual materials in order to make our circles. The size of the materials gives us different size circles. This is actually a large and a small glue stick that's just been cut in half. So the side that's irregular, that's where the glue stick originally was the full length. So try to use the flat side or the machine cut side for your dots. Same thing with the smaller glue stick. And we also have a Q-tip, and I gave you a few Q-tips because we're going to use the side of the Q-tip that has the cotton attached to it. That's going to be our third size, and our fourth size of dots is going to actually be the end of the Q-tip without any of the cotton. So you can go ahead and pull the cotton off of the end of one of your Q-tips. So we have 4 sizes of rounded ends, so 4 sizes of dots, plus our stone, plus something to keep our paints in, something to protect our table, a couple of paper towels, and then your paints. For my example, I'm going to be using blue, white, and black. So go ahead and put in the tiniest squeeze possible of blue, and then I'm actually going to put another squeeze of blue. This one I'm going to keep pure and dark. It's kind of a cobalt blue, or I suppose ultramarine blue, although it looks a little bit more like cobalt to me. I'm going to give myself pure white. And I'm also going to combine blue and white to make a medium colored blue and black. So today I'd like for you to follow along with my mandala design, but do know that you will be given the opportunity to, on a new stone, a second stone, create your own mandala design, and you can choose from all of the colors, or you could use all of the colors if you'd like. So I'm going to take one of my Q-tips and use it to stir. And I'm going to go ahead and stir in. I'm actually pulling away because I had a lot of dark blue, and dark blue is very, very strong. And so I wanted to make sure that this was a light blue. So I'm using all of the white in that drop, and then just trying to decide by pulling in a little bit more of the full blue, then I can decide how much darker I want it to be. My goal is to have a light blue that is in value between my white and my dark blue. So remember, value is all about darks and lights. So this is still blue. It's considered a blue hue. Hue is just another word for color. But I want to see if the proportions of white and ultramarine can help me to make it a color that is the value that's between the two. And that looks really pretty good, so I'm happy with that. Okay, let's get started. So I'm going to start in the middle of my stone with my largest circle implement, which is going to be my large glue stick. And I'm going to start with a very dark blue. Isn't that nice how it creates a perfect circle? I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so that you can get a good look. Okay, so I'm going to start right in the middle. And the thing that's important to keep in mind is that you want to take your circle implement and you just want to dab straight down and straight up. If you smear, then you will end up with a round circle. So that is a perfect round circle for my perfect glue stick. And I'm going to go ahead and wipe this off using my paper towel because I'm going to be using different colors on it. And the glue sticks are super nice because they wipe off so easily. I could use black, wipe it off, and immediately use white. And I'm not going to have any of that extra paint on my glue stick. It's awesome. So now you can see I've already used this glue stick a few times. Now I'm going to do some circles in white. And I'm going to start at the top and do a white circle above my blue circle. Pick up a little bit more paint. Do one down below. One to the side. One to the other side. Pick up some more blue, or more white rather. Do a circle in between each of these. And just depending on how much paint is on your circle implement, you may be able to get a couple of circles out of it, or you might need to get a little bit more paint from each one. So now I can wipe this off. And I'm going to go back to my Q-tip that has the cotton on it. You can either use what you used to stir, or you should have a couple of extras. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe pick up one of my extras like so. I'm going to pick up my medium blue. And again, I'm not trying to smear, I'm trying to go straight down. And I'm going to make a medium blue dot just outside each of my white dots. Like so. Now I'm going to, between each of my blue dots, I'm going to put another blue dot. Effectively making a circle of blue dots. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to use my smallest circle implement, which is the Q-tip without any cotton on it. And I'm going to pick up dark blue, and I'm going to put a tiny blue dot between each of my light blue dots. While I have my smallest blue, I'm going to go ahead and make a dot to the outside in between each of my white dots. And on the inside. So I have little pairs. Now I'm going to come back with my small glue stick, which makes a medium-sized circle, and I'm going to go ahead and pick up more white, and I'm going to do another set of circles. Just like I did my white circles, I'm going to do one more set straight out away from the center. So it's where I had my circle before, my white circle, I'm coming straight out to the other side of my blue dot. I went over here, so I'm coming straight away from my center, making my white dot straight over here. You might end up having to move your stone if you need to. So I have 4, north, south, east, and west. I'm going to go ahead and do these that are going at the angle. So here's my white dot. I'm moving away from the center. And depending on the size and shape of your stone, it might, like mine, is starting to curl and become the side of the stones. And so you might have to take your glue stick, and instead of just plopping it straight down, you might have to adjust the direction of it in order to accommodate. Okay, I'm wiping this off because I'll be able to use it again. And I'm going to come back to my tiny circle, pick up some blue, and I'm going to go ahead and I think I might need to rotate my stone so that you can see it, so I can see it a little bit better. I'm going to put a dot to the outside of my outermost white, and then I'm going to follow along with some dots that come around that circle. And because I'm not reapplying with more paint, then those dots are going to get smaller because there's just less paint on my Q-tip. So I'm going to start furthest away from my center with a dot, and then move my way around my white dot a little bit. And they will naturally get smaller. This is going to be a little bit tricky because it's off the edge. So you might have to turn your Q-tip and your hand so that it follows. From my center all the way out to the outer edge of that white circle. my center all the way to the outside. So I feel like there's something very relaxing about this if you really give it time and you don't rush. So that's looking really great. Depending on the size of your rock, that might be as much as you can do, but I'm going to go ahead and take my Q-tip with the cotton still on, and I'm going to dip it in the dark blue, and I'm going to make a dot based on the center over, or out over my white dots. I'm going to give it one big dot of blue from my center straight out, one dot of blue from my center straight out, one dot of blue, center straight out. So everything is based on the center. Center straight out. Ooh, this one's really tricky. It's okay. We can make it work. Center straight out. So that's looking really good, but I'm not quite finished yet. I am going to layer these dots so that there are smaller dots on top of the bigger dots. And I have 3 colors, 3 different values that I'm working with. And again, you can kind of do this in a lot of different ways, but I'm going to go ahead and use my cotton end, and I'm going to pick up the light blue, and I'm going to put a dot of light blue on top of each of my whites. Now, if you are finding that that your white is still really wet, you might have to wait and do this tomorrow after you have a dry rock, because wet paint is not going to allow you to do a dot on top of it. So you kind of have to decide at this point, and I think I would love to do another set of dots on here in the dark blue, but my light blue is too wet, and I'd also like to do another set of dots on top of these white ones, but again, they're too wet. So I'm going to stop here and start again tomorrow. What I am going to do is to give you another stone, so you'll have 2 stones. You can finish this video tomorrow, but on your second stone, I'd like for you to go ahead and paint it black. Then you have a light stone with color on it, and you'll have a black stone with color on it. Just so that it is a little bit easier to do so, I left this stone on a paper towel, and I took my brush and put this over to the side, and I took a brush and I painted the top, and then I just painted the sides while it was laying down on the paper towel. Don't paint this with it in your hand. It will be too much of a mess. So put your rock down, paint it, and then let it sit. You can probably put it on your foil. That would be a really good idea, and then just leave it on your foil to dry for tomorrow. That's it, guys. I hope you had a great time.